This place was pretty much completely covered with construction debris of all kinds, broken glass, old tiles, chunks of cement, bricks, stones, and so on. And conditions were as inimical as you could ask for when it came to actually being able to grow food successfully. And then our first focus was on doing things that would allow the soil to actually support life, microbial life primarily. So we started mulching and growing root crops that would decompose in the ground, growing stuff that we could chop and drop, all designed to increase the organic matter and create humic matter as much as possible before we could actually seriously consider starting to grow stuff. There's a big difference between the selection choices that we make today and the ones that we made back then. We started with all the usual suspects, the annuals that everybody goes for first off. We tried carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, pumpkins, okra, aubergine. So perhaps one of the biggest changes we've made is cutting back heavily on annuals and selecting very heavily for climate and location appropriate perennials, because we believe and we found that they are perfectly at home in these climatic conditions. They grow with no trouble whatsoever. You don't have to worry too much about whether you've planted them at the right time of year. You don't have to worry about pests or diseases. They will reliably feed you virtually every single day of the year. This is galangal or Thai ginger, Southeast Asia, so same climatic conditions. This is a pan. Again, it obviously loves these conditions. This is basella, also called Malabar spinach. Grows throughout the year, will feed you every day. This is called peepli, a relative of pepper. Has a whole bunch of medicinal properties, and as you can see, again, very, very happy, growing absolutely lush and green with very little input. This is a xanthosoma, one of our favorites. It loves the conditions that it finds here. We eat the stems and the leaves, and there's a related species, a colocasia, which is eaten primarily for the tubers, but with certain varieties you also eat the stems and the leaves of those. And as you can see, one single leaf is a meal for the family. Tapioca, lemongrass. This is called the pandan leaf. In India they also call it the basmati plant, because if you add a leaf to your cooking vessel, even if you're cooking regular rice, the aroma it imparts to the rice upon it getting cooked is similar to basmati. These purple leaves that you can see here are a variety of sweet potato. Most of them are primarily edible. A few of them have largely medicinal properties, and a certain percentage of them are not edible but have a very specific support function here. We are always careful to conserve absolutely every bit of organic matter that grows on this property. If you look down here, all the dead leaves, we don't burn them, we don't throw them off the property. We spread it all over, because we believe that all our soil should either have something growing on it or should be protected from the sun by mulch. Apart from the protective functions, this stuff also slowly breaks down and returns nutrients to the soil that they've used up to grow in the first place. So that's a great way to preserve the fertility of our soil. Additionally, from the neighborhood, there's always a whole bunch of things like coconut leaves dropping all the time, which lie there and rot and do nothing or get picked up and burnt. We collect them at the end of summer every year and just leave them in strategic locations in the garden. And in the course of the monsoon, they will break down into this really rich mass of humus. So this will be ready by roughly November or so. We do vermicompost, and on occasion when we think it merits it, we will inoculate a soil with vermicompost. But we don't have a large-scale composting operation because it's simply not necessary anymore. We've got about 50 birds. We've got about 20 odd Muscovy ducks. We've got 15 or so Vanaraja chickens. We've got some Karaknath chickens. We have guinea fowl. We've got geese. We had pigeons until very recently, and we'll probably do it again soon. The poultry give us a steady supply of pretty high quality compost. We have them more because we like them than because we felt we needed to introduce them into the system. But since they are there, they have been an extremely valuable addition. Introducing huge amounts of organic matter into the soil and mulching heavily and having a lot of plant cover, we've been able to reduce our water needs by, I'd say, probably a good 70-odd%. So practically speaking, we find we need to water the place once in every 4 or 5 days during the rest of the year. In summer that goes up a bit to every second day or so, depending on the area. But otherwise, yes, water consumption has gone down drastically since we started 5 years ago. We take advantage of the sheer quantity of rain that we receive and do whatever we can to increase the porosity of the ground and its capacity to actually hold on to water. So our focus is not so much on rainwater harvesting as groundwater charging. In just this small space, I'm reliably fed every single day of the year. And so if you're wondering whether it's possible or feasible for you to grow your own food, trust me, it is.